Well, hello and welcome to episode 14 of the All Things Leeds podcast with myself, Ed McIntyre, and joining me in the studio, as he always does, it is Leeds United fan and good friend Charles Foster. How are you, Charles?
I'm fine, mate. I had a good week.
Yeah, good week?
Yeah, I got birthday last week, so I got loads of birthday money, so...
How was your birthday?
It was good, yeah. Had a few drinks.
Good.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, it's what you're doing birthdays. But no Leeds game to look back on in this week's episode, so instead we'll look back on the international break, shall we? We'll discuss England and their 2 wins in the Euro 2020 qualifiers. We'll also have a look and see how a few Leeds United players did on international duty. Well, of course, we have to talk about the Under-23s, don't we? And their 2-0 win away at Colchester on Monday night that secured them the PDL North Division title. A great achievement. And then we will look ahead to the return of league football this week as Leeds United are in action against Millwall at Elland Road on Saturday. This is the All Things Leeds podcast. Now, before we get into anything, we do want to send out thoughts and well wishes to Leeds United legend Guy McAllister. First of all, who after a night out in Leeds last week was attacked. He was attacked in the early hours of Saturday morning. The attack was totally unprovoked. It's thought that the attacker used knuckle dusters. Guy McAllister ended up hospitalised. He lost 3 teeth, needed stitches in his lip. Horrible. The attacker is yet to be caught. He's thought to be American. If anyone knows anything, then please inform the police. But horrible news there. Wishes to him, and hopefully he gets well soon.
You get well soon, Gary.
Now let's talk about the international break then. First of all, with England, 2 good wins for them. First one being last Friday night, a 5-0 win over Czech Republic at Wembley. Charles, you said that you wanted to see Jadon Sancho play, and he did play in this game. What did you make of him?
He's exciting. He reminds me a lot of Clark. They're quite similar players. I mean, I think Sancho's slightly faster, but and he's got a slightly better pedigree because he's obviously from City's academy rather than Leeds', although Leeds' academy is still brilliant. Yeah, he was very skillful, but he was quite open when he had the ball at his feet. It was some points where he was quite easy to tackle because he was so open with it, and maybe it's because defenders aren't as tight in the Bundesliga. I don't know. I don't watch enough Bundesliga to be able to tell, but he was skillful. There was one point where he won that corner when he nutmegged one player, and then he did like a Ronaldinho kind of skill move to knock it through another one's legs, and it went out for a corner. But he very nearly came away with the ball, which was really impressive. Yeah. But yeah, he got the assist for Sterling's first goal.
Yep, first goal. That was a nice goal, was that as well?
That was a beautiful through ball from Harry Kane as well.
Yeah, all-round team goal was just excellent.
Up until that point, the game was quite boring. It was like watching a training game.
I mean, to be honest, I still found it boring, even though we were like 3-4-0 up. I like a bit of tension in a game. I like us, not really walking all over a team. Yes, it's nice, but it's not as entertaining just walking all over a team.
It's the qualifiers, mate. It's always a bit. Playing teams like bloody Moldova in the in the sunshine, it's always a bit. Doesn't really matter because we're gonna breeze through it. Like if you look at everyone's groups, nearly everyone's got an easy group. I mean the big countries, kind of Belgium, France, Italy, even Italy are top in their groups. So we might see them back at an international tournament, which I'm excited to see because
that'd be good.
You like some of the old favourites. You don't want to see countries like I say you don't want to see. I don't really care, but I'd rather see England play Italy than England play Russia.
Yeah. Or Iceland.
Yeah, just a game you don't care about.
Yeah. But still, all round good performance. Jadon Sancho, I thought it did look really good. Probably some areas that he does need to work on, as you were mentioning, but no, he looked good. Of course, got the assist for the first goal. Sterling's first goal, of course, went and scored a hat-trick in this game. I mean, Sterling, a hat-trick in this game, he just keeps on improving, doesn't he? I mean, 24 years old, but he is already just really good.
Yeah, he's probably... when he's on form, he's probably England's best player. When he's cause the amount of space he creates and defenders he attracts to free up, the likes of Kane, the likes of Sancho, anyone else is playing up forward, like Jesse Lingard or Dele Alli. He didn't get enough credit at the World Cup for drawing away defenders and creating the space for Kane to score all the goals he did earlier in the tournament, or to find them passes, because he is a superb player. But I did see somewhere that everyone's raving about how much Guardiola's developed Sterling, and he has, but Sterling was still a £50 million player when Guardiola
£50 million player,
bought him. I mean, that's looking like reasonable money now.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
But when they bought him,
At the time,
everyone was kind of like, that's a bit much.
I think it was the most expensive young English player, wasn't he?
Well, when you're English in football, you always end up getting more money for you.
Yeah, especially in England.
Yeah, because I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think it's had something to do with the kind of homegrown quota, because you've got to have a certain amount of English or British, I think English, these British players in your team. So it could be Scottish or Welsh or Northern Irish. Yeah. But you've got to have a certain amount of players, otherwise you don't fit the quota. I think Norwich are currently struggling with the homegrown quota. Leeds never do, because we actually promote youth talent and also generally buy English players. So
yeah. Can't really afford to splash the cash on really good foreign players, can we?
Well, we do buy foreign players, but we always buy foreign prospects who sometimes turn out to be brilliant and sometimes turn out to be really bad.
Yeah, quite a few in the U23s.
The likes of Belushi and Bianchi in the past have proven that it's not always great to raid Serie B.
No, don't remind me. But still, I mean, it does get quite a lot of stick, but it was really good. Of course, a hat-trick. Scored again in the next game in that 5-1 win away at Montenegro on a Monday night. A few good wingers in this game, Jadon Sancho, Sterling. But we saw Callum Hudson-Odoi play for England, made his debut on Monday night. He's the second youngest player to make his competitive debut for England, which is crazy. But he looked really good.
Is it Michael Owen or Wayne Rooney, the youngest?
Wayne Rooney's the youngest.
Fair enough. I like Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I think even he knows he can't stay at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because although he might get a chance now, because this transfer ban they're under might mean that he gets the nod when Hazard finally goes to Real Madrid, which will happen at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 29. It's now or never. If you're gonna go, it has to be in the summer.
Yeah, it has to be.
But yeah, I've been impressed with Hudson-Odoi. But I was more impressed with Sancho, but Hudson-Odoi was still good.
Yeah.
It's nice to see an England manager promote youth. The amount of times we've seen, although I love the man, the likes of James Milner in the England team, I do massively rate him. He loves Leeds and he's a great player, and I really want him back at Leeds, but not in the England side. And you get other older players,
especially under Roy Hodgson,
Phil Jagielka and people like that, and Leighton Baines, and just players that are just past it and just get skinned by everyone.
Yeah.
And Phil Jones, he could get out of the England side as well. he can just. I cannot believe he's calling himself into another 4 years at Manchester United. As funny as that was, I cannot believe it. How is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looking at Phil Jones and thinking, you know what, I want you at Manchester United for another 4 years?
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
he's a low-level Championship centre-back. He's I'm trying to think of a club.
All right, man. Let's stop ripping into Phil Jones, shall we?
I'm trying to think of a club he would suit in the Championship. Someone so terrible, but just not terrible.
Aston Villa or something?
No, someone just not terrible enough to get relegated. Someone between Blackburn, someone like that. Yeah. Didn't he come from Blackburn initially as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so he should go back to Blackburn. That is his level.
Anyway, I mean, England staying positive. England, they look really good at the moment.
Back on track.
youth are coming through really, really well. And this game on Monday night away at Montenegro, I think before Southgate, we probably would have ended up drawing this game or losing this game.
We did go 1-0 down.
Yeah, to win 5-1 after going 1-0 down, it just shows how good this England side are now, and I mean how bright the future is for England as well.
Yeah, Michael Keane got sidestepped a bit too easily in the middle of the box, and it was a good finish, to be fair. Not much Pickford could have done about it, but
poor defending.
Keane should have closed him down better. They shouldn't have allowed him so much space.
Yeah, the first England goal, I don't think I've ever not celebrated a goal before, but I didn't celebrate this because it went back at net, but I didn't realise. I was distracted by a water bottle that was flying.
In fact, I didn't celebrate any of the goals against Czech Republic. I just didn't celebrate them because I only celebrate Leeds goals. I don't celebrate England goals.
I mean, apart from World Cup.
I mean, obviously, I support the England team, and I always watch all the games if I can in qualifiers. But it's hard to get up for them because it's like watching Leeds play Oxford in a friendly. It's just like
yeah.
I
mean, for major tournaments, I enjoy watching England, but for these qualifiers, we know that England are going to qualify for the 2020 tournament. There's no.
I think the stat predictor said that England have a 96% chance of qualifying.
Yeah,
and that was after the first game. So after the second game, it's probably even higher.
Yeah, probably.
Who else have we got to play? Is it Kosovo we've got to play as well?
I couldn't.
I'm going to check our group. I think it's.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But we look good in both of these games. Two really, really good wins, and we were expecting that, really, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I would actually quite like to go to Montenegro away, not for the football, but they've got a massive racetrack and there's loads of casinos there, so it's ace.
You just want to go for that?
Yeah, I'd have the day out. Sod the football.
A weekend in Montenegro.
Yeah.
An extended weekend, because England, of course, played on the Monday night. But no, Ross Barkley were playing this game as well. But we've got so many youth coming through, which is really good. Southgate's doing a great job.
He got a couple of goals, did Ross Barkley. The thing with Ross Barkley is he's always been one of them players which is he got touted by like the next Steven Gerrard, and they never really made it.
Yeah, I think he just kind of fell out of love, when he was at Everton, really. But when he made his move to Chelsea, he started playing for Chelsea. Now he's back in the England setup. He looks like some player again. Yeah,
we've got to play Bulgaria and Kosovo next.
All right.
Kosovo have 1 point, and Bulgaria have 2.
Wow.
I mean, so Bulgaria have drawn against Montenegro and Kosovo. So are we playing? Oh, I don't care who we're playing next. It's one of them.
Yeah, we're going to win them anyway.
Yeah, if we don't win against them, I've been to Bulgaria. It's a lovely country. You should go.
Yeah.
And it's also very cheap beer. 2 leb for a beer. It's like 60p. It's mental.
Wow. I need to go. But yeah, I mean, that's England. Really, really good. Is it coming home?
Oh.
Is it coming home?
Yeah, it's probably got a bloody France. I think the final is at Wembley, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think the semi-final and the final are at Wembley.
Yeah, because the 2020 tournament's just all around Europe, isn't it? Which is really weird.
I don't agree with that. It should be like the World Cup,
in one.
Yeah, because we had last Euros it was in France, wasn't it? And it was only in France. Now for some reason we decided to do it like a world tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love an international tournament in England, or at least in Britain. Britain and Ireland would be a good one.
Yeah, just Britain and Ireland. That would be really good.
That's all of Ireland, not just Northern Ireland. Because you can go to Dublin, you can go to Belfast, and you can go to. You could even play up in
Scotland.
You can play in Glasgow. Yeah, you could do in the play in the old firm stadiums. That'd be good.
Yeah, they got Ibrox, they got Celtic Park, they got Hampden, got Murrayfield as well.
And then you can go down the country. You can hit St James's Park. You can hit Elland Road. You can hit. We're not going to talk about that other stadium. You can hit Anfield.
The stadium's in Manchester.
You can shut the people in the Midlands up and play it. I don't know, King Power, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Power.
And then of course, the Emirates in London. You got all them.
Olympic Stadium if you really want to bore people to death with the worst stadium in the country. You got Spurs' new stadium as well. You can play in there.
Yeah. Is it coming on? No. Yes or no? The Euros.
Yeah, go on then.
What about the Nations League? That's coming up soon.
Can you even win the Nations League?
We're in the semi-finals of the Nations League.
I knew we topped our group. But
we're now in the semi-finals with these 3 other teams. I think Netherlands are one of them. I think
the Nations League is it's kind of the League Cup of the international stadium.
I don't think anyone.
It's technically a trophy, but no one cares about it.
I don't think anyone has a clue what the Nations League even is. My dad thinks that Scotland have qualified for the Euros just because they finished top of their group in the Nations League.
They still might qualify, but
yeah,
they really need to improve. I mean, 3-0 to Kazakhstan. I mean, everyone beats San Marino. I could play in a team and we would probably beat San Marino.
Yeah, I mean, San Marino they did look really poor, but Kazakhstan, that 3-0 loss there.
Kazakhstan looked. The goal from I saw all 3 goals. They weren't bad goals. It was just bad defending.
Yeah, but how does Scotland lose it? I mean, first of all, as well, if you're losing 3-0 to Kazakhstan, how's Liam Cooper not getting in that team?
I honestly don't know. I don't think the manager likes him. Is it McLeish?
McLeish, yeah.
I don't think he likes Cooper. I mean, fair enough. Barry Douglas isn't going to get in the team because Andy Robertson's going to get ahead of him. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cooper really should be in that back line. They'd be a much better team.
Looking at other players who've been playing on international duty, Northern Ireland, they won their 2 games this past week. Stuart Dallas and Bailey Peacock-Farrell playing for them. Bailey Peacock-Farrell seemed to get a lot of praise for his save late on in their 2-1 win against Belarus. Yeah, it was a good save. And he kept a clean sheet in the game before. He's looking good going into the game this weekend, which of course he will be playing in because Casilla is suspended.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, it's probably a smart move by Leeds not to appeal that decision because one match ban's fine. Whatever.
I mean, I think if EFL looked at it anyway, they would have seen Casillas just made a challenge, not won the ball and brought him down, denied a goal scoring opportunity. So red card.
Best case scenario when you appeal it, probably would be them just say the decision stands. Worst case scenario, they go, all right, you can have a 2-match ban.
Yeah,
it's which we don't want. So all we got to do is just keep Millwall out.
Yeah, but Peacock Farrell, he looks good going into the game this weekend, doesn't he?
He does. Probably higher confidence. It's probably lifted him the fact he's still making these national team despite not being in Leeds' first team. That's probably good for him, and he's still playing regular football, which is good. But yeah, I'm sure he'll do fine.
Yeah, should do fine. Hopefully he doesn't have much to do.
He's always been a bit nervy on crosses though, and there's going to be a lot of crosses with Millwall because there always is.
Yeah.
So as long as he's catching the crosses and punching the crosses clear if he can't catch, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And as long as people mark up properly, because Alioski has a habit of going walkabout when he should be marking.
Yeah, he does.
Love the man, but he does. he doesn't mark people properly ever.
We'll move on to Alioski in a bit because, of course, he's been in international duty as well. But this weekend it's it now for Peacock Farrell, isn't it? This is the time. This is his chance to get in front of Casillas and make a mark.
Yeah, but I don't think he... I think no matter what he does, short of saving 3 successive penalties, he's going to do anything to oust Casillas from the side when his suspension ends. But yeah, this is his chance to say, yeah, Casillas is the number 1, but I'm still here. I can do a job.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna push him.
If he can come in, get the clean sheet, Leeds get the win, then everyone praises him. Yes, he goes back to the bench, but then Leeds fans have confidence that if when called upon, he'll do a job.
Yeah, definitely. About Alioski, of course, playing for Macedonia this week. He played left back, but still ended up scoring during a 3-1 win.
Keeper should have saved
over Latvia. What is Alioski's position? He played left back, on paper this game, but he just plays on the left, doesn't he? And he just goes anywhere he wants.
It's weak. I think if we played like Wolves, he would have a field there. Like if we played wing backs, proper wing backs, flying wing backs, he'd have a good job.
Yeah,
but we don't play wing backs. We play full backs. Yeah, so sometimes he struggles a little bit defensively, but then when we're going forward, we attack with like an extra winger. So it's a bit. He likes a gung ho side as Alioski.
Yeah, but good goal that he scored against Latvia.
Keeper should have saved it.
Yeah, keeper should have saved it. It reminded me of the goal that he scored against Norwich right at the beginning of the season.
Kind of through the keeper's gloves.
Yeah.
Got a habit of doing that. We'll have another one of them on Saturday, please, Alioski.
Good finish there. Alioski doing well for Macedonia. Poland, they won their 2 games this international period. Click featuring for them as well. He looked all right. Tyler Roberts for Wales too. It was really annoying watching Wales last Sunday. And 1-0 win over Slovakia at home because Dan James scored the only goal of the game 5 minutes in. Really good goal this. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it, yeah.
But watching that, I was just annoyed.
Cheers, Swansea.
Yeah, cheers, Swansea, because he was so good. I mean, Dan James after the game getting so much praise, even from Gareth Bale as well. But, the pace that Dan James has and that goal that he scored, it's just like, we could have had him. We could have had him.
What might have been.
Yeah. What might have been. He certainly would have made a big impact at Leeds in our promotion.
He still might come to Leeds, you never know.
Yeah, hopefully. We probably will go back for him in the summer. I mean, even in the Premier League, pace just kills everyone.
He'd do a job.
Yeah, he'd do a job. But it's great having on these internationals in the Leeds United team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's not happened for a while.
Yeah.
We've always had a couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not properly happened for a while.
I remember when we barely had any internationals. I think Rudy Austin was like the only player in the team who played for his country.
When you're a better team and you're with better players, they get more international duty. Yeah. I mean, Patrick Bamford could have gone on international duty if he wanted.
Yeah, he turned it down, didn't he? He wanted to focus on
Ireland
Leeds.
have won both their games anyway, so
yeah. Yeah, and they were playing against Gibraltar as well.
The Gibraltar one was really good, but they beat somebody decent or decent-ish the other day. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. But that's the internationals. Really good to have a lot of players play on international duty. But let's move on then, shall we? Let's talk about the Leeds United U23s. The champions. They won the PDL North Division title on Monday night. Ryan Edmonton's brace secured him a 2-0 win over Colchester. Awesome achievement.
Yeah, brilliant. You can't really say much more. It's nice. It's nice to win. It's nice for the young players to actually. They're in the quarter final of the cup and they've won the league. And Edmondson was saying after the game in his interview, "Oh yeah, we're going to focus on the cup now. Of course, we're still going to focus on the league." It's like, why?
Yeah, you've won the league. You
haven't won the cup yet. Focus on the cup.
Yeah. The Premier League Cup, winning that would be great because they're coming up against some real good teams.
We've got Burnley in the next round, so hopefully we can beat them and knock them out. And then
that's behind closed doors, isn't it? Which is really weird. That's this Friday as well.
It's away at Burnley, and I think it's because Burnley know they won't have any fans turn up and leave. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to slag them off or anything, but they not many teams bring a good following for their youth, but Leeds do most. Like the Colchester game. How many did we have down there? Like, I think it's like 7,000 or something like that.
Yeah, plenty of fans down at Colchester.
I'm not sure on that figure, so don't quote me on that. Yeah. But I'm sure there was a lot down there, and I know it's just because we were going to win the league. But if we get to the semi-final of the cup, there's going to be quite a few fans there, especially if it's at home.
Yeah, Edmondson scoring 2 goals. He almost scored a hat-trick. I think he's U23's highest goal scorer this season.
14, I think.
And he's missed. He missed a period of the season as well. But it looks like he could play. He could be a really good player in the future.
Yeah, I mean, he needs a loan spell, really, I think. He needs a... If you look at Malik Wilkes, that's a perfect example of how a loan spell can go well.
Yeah, scoring again for Doncaster on Tuesday.
4-1 win.
Yeah. But Edmondson...
Did annoy me slightly, though, because Sky Sports were going on... They did like a montage of Will Wilkes' goals and skills and that, and they go Doncaster's own Malik Wilkes. It's like, it's not got Doncaster's own. He's on loan. He's a Leeds player.
Yeah.
He's not a Donny player.
No.
I mean, my mate's a Donny fan and he wants them to sign Wilkes, but I'm just like, yeah, give us 3 million, mate, and you can have him.
Yeah. 3 million probably about right.
Fair. I mean, fair return if they get the playoffs.
Yeah,
which they might. They're in 6th.
Yeah, if they get the playoffs, then Malik Wilkes he's scoring quite a lot down there. He's doing a good job. But Edmondson, I mean, it looks good now, but in the future, like you're saying, he probably does need a loan move. But it does look like he could play. He could be some player in the future. He could do a job at Leeds United, maybe.
Yeah, he's probably ready for a League One club.
Like
a reasonably high up League One club, as long as he's getting regular game time.
Yeah.
But
or maybe a side in the Championship, a side like Reading.
Oh, I wouldn't wish Reading on my worst enemy, mate. Imagine having to live in Reading. No offence, anyone from Reading who's listening to this, but Reading is a bad place, and they are not a good club. If you're putting fans on your team sheet, you are tin pot.
Number 13 as well.
And they put like a tweet out the other week bragging that they still had the most amount of points ever accrued in the Championship. I was like, yeah, but that was like 10 years ago. You are just about not going to get relegated. That's how bad you are.
But
you hired Paul Clement as your manager, for God's sake. Just like off Reading. Yeah. Which Edmondson can go to a Championship club as long as it's not one we have a rivalry with or don't like, which eliminates most of them. But one of the Championship clubs.
But yeah, the U23s winning the league. I mean, how bright is the future at Leeds United, though?
Very bright, but it's all right developing youth talent in the youth setup and the under-23s league, but it's about making the jump, and not many players successfully make the jump to playing regularly at professional level. I
mean, we've seen a few this season for Leeds United. Shackleton,
Clark. We have, but
Helm.
This season has been a bit of a one-off because we've had to employ them a lot more due to injuries. But yeah, I'd love to see them Edmondson make the jump. Because he
made the jump back in the last season.
Well, yeah, he did. He had a kind of a spell against. I think he played against QPR, like the last game of the season, something like that. But he's not been featuring this season.
No.
He's in the kind of Viduka mould, isn't he? He's kind of a bit of a poacher, a bit of a not a huge amount of pace, but a great strike on him. He's kind of that type of player.
Yeah,
and he's good in the air as well because I think he's 17 or 18. But he's like 6'2" or 6'3" or something.
He is massive. He don't look his age. He looks like about 10 years older.
Yeah, he's like 3 years younger than us, but he's like twice as big as us.
Oh, that's depressing. But yeah, the under-23s doing well. Izzy Brown and Jack Clark, they played on Monday. Jack Clark, he looked really good, and he could make a big impact for us in the last 8 games.
I think he set up Edmondson's first goal by skinning a couple of players. But, yeah, I'd love to see I'll see him against Millwall.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll start, but we'll see him get on. I think he will get on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he will as well. He came on against Sheffield United, didn't he? Of course, he's back from his illness, but he probably will make a big impact in these last 8 games for us.
He was on LUTV, and they interviewed him, asking him how it was with his illness and that, and he was saying he was like really frustrated because he wanted to be like out there training and being involved with the lads, and he said because I didn't have any muscle injuries, it was difficult to not be able to go out there and train because obviously he's had to remain in the gym and do all these kind of tick all these boxes with Rob Price rather than training with the lads. And you can imagine being fully fit and sat there thinking, I really should be out there. I really shouldn't be doing this. But you don't want to. Obviously, we had to make sure that his illness wasn't going to happen again. He wasn't going to like.
Yeah, I mean, he's an 18-year-old just falling ill on a bench.
Yeah.
It is worrying, but he looks back and he looked really good on Monday, and he looks good going into the final stretch of the season. But that's the Under-23s then, winning the league, really, really good. Hopefully they keep up the good performances for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of players who have come back from injury, Janssen, of course, he injured himself during the win-loss against Sheffield United at home just before the break. He was ruled out for 3 weeks, but he looks... Rumour is that he could play against Millwall on Saturday.
When we lose, we really do lose, don't we? We don't just like lose 1-0. We lose 1-0, get our keeper sent off, and our best defender injured for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but it looks like he could play this weekend, though, which is a huge bonus.
I think it'll be touch and go as he plays against Millwall. He will... Is it Birmingham we've got after Millwall? I think he'll play against Birmingham, but it depends how he's feeling. If he's feeling up to it, he'll play.
I know that he's been streaming on Twitch a lot. I keep getting notifications through to my phone.
I mean, I don't ever use Twitch, so...
but he's definitely in that kind of mood.
It looked like he was in a lot of pain in the last stages against Sheffield United, but if Rob Price is, I don't know, sacrifice to some kind of gypsy god to get Janssen back fit for this game. I don't know what Rob Price does, how he manages to get people back 2 weeks early every time.
Yeah,
it's satanic rituals probably. But yeah, Janssen appears to be back fit.
Yeah, which is really good. And if he does play, be massive. Of course, if he doesn't play, and then who would you put in if Pontus Jansson isn't feeling up to it this weekend? Is it Berardi you chucking at centre back?
No.
Helm. Yeah, needs to deal with the aerial
battle. Berardi's not going to win it against Morrison.
Berardi did a job against Stoke on the opening day of the season, against Middlesbrough as well.
yeah. I mean, we got a bit lucky in the Middlesbrough game purely because we did a lot of we probably should have conceded a couple of penalties from the kind of challenges we were putting in the box. Admittedly, so should they, but Ayala lamping someone as usual. I hate Ayala.
Don't we all?
Yeah. But yeah, to deal with Morrison, it'd be nice to see how nuss him into next week. So, and I mean that genuinely.
There's a few options though. Of course, you can move Elland into right back and put Dallas. Move Elland into centre back, put Dallas at right back, or Shackleton at right back. Of course, Berardi can just go straight to centre back. There's a few options. Phillips maybe as well if Forshaw's. Forshaw he looks to be in his final stages of his recovery, which is good, and Roof as well looks to almost be back fit. Well, Price doing miracles here. Yeah,
I'd like to see Forshaw back on the bench, but I really don't want him starting. It's good to have Roof back as an option, and possibly to relieve Tyler Roberts in games where we need a bit more experience. But we might end up with a fully fit squad here, mate.
for the first time this season.
For the first time with 8 games left.
Yeah, hopefully Roof and Forshaw, they do come back soon. That'll be massive. That'll be massive, especially if you look at the next few games, which we'll get onto in a bit. But before we go on to the final running to the end of the season, let's have a look at some other news coming out from the Championship. Starting with Birmingham. Last week handed a 9-point deduction. They've gone from 13th to 18th in the league, 5 points above the drop zone. What do you make of that?
Very funny.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fan of a club who suffered 25-point deduction over 2 seasons, I feel very little sympathy for a club who's only got a 9-point deduction.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's not 12.
It's unfortunate that they deliberately made it 9 so that Birmingham aren't involved in the relegation battle. That's why they've done it.
Yeah.
It would be 12 if it wasn't this late in the season.
They haven't in a relegation battle, though, aren't they? 5 points above relegation zone?
5 points is better than 2, mate.
But they have lost.
2 points above the scrap would be a proper scrap, but 5 is fine. That's it.
They haven't won a game in a while, though. In bad form.
Along comes Leeds. No, yeah, it was very, very funny, but that's just because I like seeing other clubs suffer, because they all voted to make us suffer.
Yeah.
Like, everyone feels sorry for Bolton. I don't feel sorry for Bolton. I really don't.
I mean, they keep on singing, "Oh, we saw you cry at the Reebok."
They relegated us out the Premier League. They can suffer. They can liquidate. Right. See you, Bolton.
9-point deduction for Birmingham. But also today, or it could have been yesterday. I'm not really sure. The Championship team of the year.
It was yesterday.
Came out yesterday. Came out on Tuesday. Cooper and Phillips of Leeds United getting the Championship team of the year.
Weird choices. I mean,
why no Hernandez? That's what I want to know. Pablo Hernandez should have definitely been. He should have been the first name.
Right, the Championship team of the season is voted for by all the managers in the Championship. So, I mean, Janssen and Cooper are both excellent defenders, but I would have thought that managers watching Leeds would be more impressed with Janssen purely because the work Cooper does is vital, but Janssen usually does the more dramatic stuff.
I mean, and Bielsa highlighted it as well at the start of the season. The size that Pontus is for what he can do with the ball at his feet is surprising.
Well, yeah, but he's got experience as a player further forward, hasn't he? So
yeah, here's the full team of the year then. So it's Darren Randolph in goal.
Don't agree with that.
I mean, he's kept a lot of clean sheets this season.
That's not because of him though.
Yeah,
he's not his goal peppered with shots and he's still keeping clean sheets. They've just played with 10 men in front of the goal the whole season.
Norwich is Max Aarons and Jamal Lewis as the full backs.
Probably fair.
Yeah, I think they've been phenomenal. Liam Cooper, one of the centre backs. Rhys James of Wigan.
He's not a centre back. He's a right back.
Yeah, he's a right back, and also he plays for Wigan. Like they've not had a great season.
He is an excellent player, though, Rhys James. I've always been impressed with him when I watch Wigan. He is their best player by a mile.
Jared Bowen.
I say I don't like him.
He's been Hull's best player this season.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of goals, but I don't like him because of the way he celebrated Elland Road. Because he scored 2 against us, but he is a good player, and he probably deserves that.
Yeah, Oliver Norwood.
Overrated, in my opinion.
For me, Click and Hernandez are better than him.
Norwood never really does much for me. I mean, I know he's a good player for Sheffield United, but whenever we play them, he's never a player I notice doing anything.
Yeah. Calvin Phillips, of course.
Very fair.
Yeah, very fair. Billy Sharp.
Probably fair.
He's the highest goal scorer in the league, I think.
Yeah.
Timu Pukki as well. He's one of the highest goal scorers in the league as well.
I think Pukki's highest. I think Sharp's second.
Yeah, it's definitely the highest at Sheffield United is Billy Sharp. And then Che Adams as well.
Again, meh.
Yeah. I wouldn't really put Che Adams in the team.
I know he's got quite a few goals, but...
And they put him at the right winger position. That's Pablo Hernandez's position.
Che Adams is a striker. You don't play a team with 3 strikers in it.
You put Pablo Hernandez in there. Would you agree, though? Pablo Hernandez needs to be in there.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's been the best.
Ludicrous decision not to put him in.
He's been the best player in the Championship all season.
Absolute mugs. And then manager of the season was Chris Wilder, which I don't agree with either.
No, for me, it's Bielsa.
I mean, Chris Wilder has been at Sheffield United for what feels about 20 years now. He's had a long time with the same players.
Yeah.
Daniel Farke has had 2 seasons with them players. Marcelo Bielsa has come into a team that finished 13th, brought in 2 players, and the rest of them have all, like... If you think about the players that Bielsa brought in and how many of them no longer play, even though he brought them in the start of the season, like Jamal Blackman, injured, back to Chelsea. Lewis Baker, loan cancelled, back to Chelsea, and then on to Reading. I mean... Jack Harrison didn't really feature for most of the season, is now only featuring recently.
Yeah.
But he got Barry Douglas not featuring for ages.
Yeah. I mean, that was my point. People saying Farke should have been team manager of the season. When Farke's had 2 seasons at Norwich, brought in all his own players.
Poor was Farke last season as well.
Yeah, it was really poor. They had an awful season.
Shocking.
But Bielsa, he comes in this season, first season, brings in barely any players, loses one of the best players in Zaiz in December, hasn't had a full fit squad all season, and we're still battling for the top 2. For me, Bielsa was without question, manager of the year.
It's poison chalice anyway. Let Chrissy Wilder have it. It looks like a slice of ham anyway. You know those slices of Billy Bear ham your nan used to get you from Morrison's? That's exactly what Chris Wilder looks like. He looks like Billy Bear ham.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's all the other news coming out of the Championship recently. That's the Championship Team of the Year. Now, before we look ahead to the Millwall game this weekend, let's have a listen to a chat I had recently, shall we, with Andrew Dalton, otherwise known as Stats. He's the author of a few Leeds United books, such as Leeds United All White, and he's also pretty much the most knowledgeable person there is when it comes to talking about Leeds United. He's a walking encyclopedia, pretty much, just full of everything about Leeds United.
Yeah, very knowledgeable.
Well, I had a chat with him recently, and he was telling me just how he's feeling going into the last 8 games of the season.
How am I feeling? Oh, well, I think after the stress-free weekend of the weekend just gone, it's back to the bread and butter, isn't it, of the Championship and the run-in. Look, a lot of these players haven't been in this position before, and it's very new to them. Obviously, Marcelo Bielsa has managed at the highest level, certainly in the World Cup with Argentina, and I think he's got to get that over to the players. Look, as supporters, we've just got to sort of go hand in hand and support the team through the last 8 games. Look, we know we're a point behind Sheffield United, but as I said, after the Sheffield United defeat, after the last international break, we went on to win 7 in a row. So if we do that, we won't be that far away from promotion.
Of course, there's that daunting stat, though, with any team who are top of the league at Christmas, they go on to win promotion. Hopefully Leeds United don't jinx it.
Yeah, the last team that did that, I think, were Watford in 2008, 2009. The team didn't go up, so I'm hoping that doesn't jinx us. But look, I think whatever way you look at it, if we end up in the playoffs, we still had a fantastic season, considering where we were this time last year when we were battling for a top half finish. And I remember the QPR game back in the last season, and the Leeds fans singing we're top of the league when the league table came up on the big screen at the end of the season. It's been a massive improvement wherever you look. There's a lot of positives for me, but it'll just be nice now if we can sort of go on and finish the job off.
Yeah, hopefully. Do you think that they could maybe do what the U23s achieved on a Monday night and win the league, or is a second place finish the only realistic target for Leeds United now?
I think for me it doesn't really matter if we finish first or second, because at the end of the day it's still the same prize of playing in the promised land of the Premier League, and I think that's what's important. Can they win the league? A lot will depend on Norwich. They've got, I wouldn't say an easy running, but they've got a lot of winnable games. I know they go to Borough, I think, this weekend, which could be tricky for them after that. I think they've sort of got some teams in the bottom half of the table, so as long as we finish in the top 2, I think that'll make a lot of Leeds fans absolutely buzzing. A lot of football to play, 24 points to play, massive weekend coming up. Players have got Bristol City at home while we play Millwall, and then what's key for me is the reverse fixtures of Preston and Birmingham. Whilst we go to St Andrews a week on Saturday, Sheffield United get to Deepdale, and then on the midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's the reverse fixtures, which I think will be absolutely massive. And by then we'll have 5 games to go, and probably have a very good idea of whether we'll be in the top 2, pushing for promotion or looking at the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it has been the international break. First of all, do you think it's come at a good time for Leeds United?
I wouldn't say a tough time. I think it's a time that you've got to enjoy. I think if you're in football, these are the kind of reasons why you're in football for, to fight for the big prize at the end of it. It's a situation that a lot of fans haven't been in, certainly from the second tier. Obviously, I know we got to the playoff final, 2005, 2006, to be done by Watford in Cardiff, and beating Preston in the semi-finals. And I think you've just got to embrace these situations. Look, there'll be a lot of nervous energy around over the last 8 games, I'm absolutely certain, but they've got to take this opportunity and grasp it with both hands, because you never know when this opportunity may not come again.
Yeah. What do you think the players would have been doing during the international break, and how do you think they're feeling going into the last 8 games, especially considering that defeat against Sheffield United just before?
I think a lot of the players that weren't involved in the international, the other likes of Johnny Alioski, Tyler Robertson involved, Peacock Farrell, Stuart Dallas, unfortunately Pontus wasn't involved with his injury. I think it was just a question of resting up, recharging the batteries, and going for the last 8 games. I think there'll be a determination in the squad that has come so far, and they've had an absolutely fantastic first 38 games of the season. It's now an opportunity to try and grasp the situation and try and get that second place, because I know we've been out of the world for 15 years. It'll just be great going into our centenary year that we are a Premier League club. But as I keep saying to everyone, there's a lot of twists and turns in this league. If Sheffield United do win the last 8 games, they fully deserve to win promotion.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they will. I think there'll be a lot of twists and turns either way, and it's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, and it's certainly not one for the faint-hearted.
Yeah, and hopefully there's a few twists and turns this weekend in the favour of Leeds United. Of course, we kick off the last 8 games against Millwall at home. How do you see this one playing out?
Millwall will come into it. They're fighting for their lives a little bit. They should have beaten Brighton in the FA Cup last time out. They threw that away in stoppage time. Darren Martin made horrendous error in Mark Ward. Never an easy game, but Leeds have got a very good record at Elland Road. They've only lost 4 in 17 against Millwall, and it's a game that I fully expect Leeds to win. They'll have the home partisan crowd in front of them, and it just presents an opportunity just to get back on the bandwagon. And look, if Sheffield United beat Bristol City, Leeds have done their job, and they can't worry about Sheffield United. I think it's an opportunity this weekend against a side haunted by relegation. I know Birmingham have been sort of thrown into there with the 9-point deduction, but it's a game I really expect Leeds to win. I know there's no love lost between the two sides, and after the result last season at Elland Road when Leeds got it back to 3-2 after being 2-0 down and down to 10 men in the first half, fantastic comeback, then Millwall go and nick it right at the end. I just feel it's an opportunity this weekend to get back on a roll and then make it into a 7-game season.
Yeah, hopefully they can get the victory this weekend. And I'm doing this with everyone who I speak to recently, putting them on the spot. I'll do the same to you. Are Leeds United going to do it?
Are Leeds United going to do it? I hate to be on the fence. Look, it's so hard to call. I think somewhere along the lines there'll be slip-ups on both sides. I think Leeds may just have enough. Look, the job that Chrissy Wilder's done has been absolutely magnificent at Bramall Lane, and it was a classic away performance the other week. I just feel that going into the 100th year and sentiment and what have you, I just think they'll pitch Sheffield United to the post. Look, I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. And look, I might be wrong come May the 5th at 3 o'clock after the Ipswich Town game. But yeah, I think just by the skin of the teeth, it might be a point here or there, or even a goal here or there, but I think Leeds will just about do it come the end of the season.
Stats there, he's a very, very, very awesome guy, first of all. Really do appreciate him taking the time to talk to us. But he's fairly optimistic going into the remaining 8 games. Are you?
I'm never optimistic when it comes to Leeds United, mate. They've let me down a lot of times, but I'd like to say we're going to do it. I really would, but if we're going to get anything, if we're going to finish in the top 2, we need Sheffield United to drop some points the next 2 games, and they've got Bristol City at home and Preston away. Preston could do a job on them. I'm really hoping they do. They've been in exceptional form. If they can just turn Sheffield United over and chuck them a nice juicy L, we'll be all right, mate.
You were saying, there's still 8 games. There could still be plenty of twists and turns, and there could be.
We just need them to start conceding again. They're not conceding at the moment. We need them to start conceding again.
Yeah.
I mean, if Lee Johnson, that smug little, never mind. But if he can, if he can just turn him over, or at least nick like a horrible point off him, that'd be brilliant. And if we can, and then we go ahead and hopefully turn over Millwall. Then we restore. We get back 1 point above them. It's all rosy. I don't have to look at Championship banter pages and get mugged off by Sheffield United fans anymore. Everyone will go back to normal. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, it'll be lovely. It'll be lovely. But let's look ahead to the Millwall game then, shall we? Stats, fully expecting Leeds United to win. 3 p.m. kickoff this Saturday at Elland Road. What do you see happening in this one?
We need an early goal. We do. We can't afford to do what we did against Sheffield United and just kind of miss our chances and then just peter out. Yeah,
get an early goal, just settle the nerves.
Yeah. Early goal, injury to Steve Morrison, laugh at Neil Harris. That's an ideal afternoon.
Ideal afternoon. It'll be great Saturday afternoon.
Hopefully there'll be Neil will explode in that beetroot face of rage he always seems to do whenever he plays, or whenever he puts his team out. But they've been really poor though. They've been beatable.
Yeah, they've been poor this year. It is a game that Leeds United should be winning. Millwall, 20th in the league, 1 point above relegation zone, but they always seem to step up against Leeds, don't they?
I mean, it almost saved the weekend on Paddy's Day when I watched them get knocked out of the cup by Brighton when their keeper just threw the ball in the net in the 95th minute and then they lost on penalties. That was very funny, but it won't be the same team because that was the cup team. They do have Shane Ferguson. He is suspended for the game, but I don't think he regularly plays anyway.
No. Millwall, they did win their last championship game though, 2-0 away at Birmingham. But before they had lost 5 on the bounce, including 2-1 loss away at Bolton. They really are just a poor side at Millwall, and if we lose against them, well,
if we turn up, we'll turn them over.
Yeah.
We just will,
hopefully,
and send their 20 fans home crying.
Yeah, they usually only bring a small amount. Last season they sold out their away allocation, but that's because they were pushing for the playoffs. This season, I don't know if they're going to sell out or not. Hopefully they do. Add to the atmosphere, obviously. Millwall, in their very last game, they drew 2-2 at home to Brighton in the FA Cup. They did end up losing that on penalties.
They were 2-0 up with about 8 minutes to go as well.
And then they ended up drawing 2-2, lost on penalties, out of the FA Cup. The chance of going to Wembley for the semi-final just washed away. How do you feel about them coming into the game though on the back of that? Did we want them to win that, or do you think a loss in the FA Cup is good? Good for us really.
I mean, it would be a sad day for English football having Millwall in a semi-final of a cup. I mean, it just is. It's always nice for them to come in on the back of a loss. I mean, I know it's only on penalties, but it's still a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're coming in on the back of a loss as well, but we lost against much better opposition. I mean,
Sheffield United better than Brighton?
They're better than Brighton's B team, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
with the exception of Glenn Murray, who for some reason was the only Brighton player to miss a penalty in the penalty shootout. Of all the players I would not expect to miss a penalty, it would be Glenn Murray.
Glenn Murray. But I mean, it's two ways with this. I mean, Millwall, they've just lost and they're going to go into this game, really wanting to, they're going to be fired up and be like, all right, it's against Leeds, let's get back to winning ways and let's show our fans, let's make up for that embarrassing loss in the FA Cup. Really, I mean, it is embarrassing, 2-0 up and they end up losing on penalties. But
shows mental softness that they can't keep a 2-0 lead with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, but then again, if they won, they're more focused on the FA Cup because they're into the semi-final. Kind of two ways about that result, them going into this. But that's Millwall. We do have a decent home record against Millwall. Won 5 out of the last 6 at home. The other game being a loss. That, of course, came last season. I mean, some game that was last season for the wrong reasons.
I wasn't there, but yeah. I remember looking at my phone and seeing we were 3-2 up and thinking, sorted, we've done it. And then 89th minute, 3-3. Great. Cheers, Leeds. 93rd minute, 4-3. Cheers, Leeds.
So it seems to be Leeds, doesn't it? We go down to 10 men, we claw the result back, we take the lead, and then we just ball it like we did against Nottingham Forest.
That was kind of the right. That game was kind of the writing on the wall for Christiansen, anyway.
Yeah, it really was. Some game that was. Went 2-0 down to 10 men. Cooper got himself sent off, and then Lasoga.
That was that series of games where about 4 games on the bounce we had a player sent off. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, Saï sent off against Newport.
Ewan O'Kane got sent off for nutting someone at Ipswich, and then Cooper got sent off for a bad challenge. It was complete lack of discipline in the side. Yeah, there really was. I mean, last year were just horrendous. And then Paul Heckingbottom came in and said, I'm going to fix the discipline. And then we still had players getting sent off all the time. I think Berardi got sent off at one point for a horrendous challenge. But it's sort of standard Berardi behaviour, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully we can continue our good form at home against Millwall. Of course, we're going into it on the back of that 1-0 loss to Sheffield United at home. That's why I was dropped to 3rd, 1 point behind top 2 with 8 games to go. What do you think will be going through the players' heads now? After that loss and going into the final stage of the season.
I would hope it would be, we've lost the cushion, we've lost the initiative. We can't afford to lose. Let's go out there and smash them and really do a West Brom, put a statement out. Yeah,
I mean, it's now or never, isn't it? It is now or never. We need to get the job done. We've been so good all season. This is the time now where we need to get the job done. We can't afford to lose, can we?
As Stats was saying there, this is kind of Norwich's last real opportunity to drop points is at Borough. They don't play anyone else remotely good. And I mean, all the rest of their games are like the bottom 10 of the Championship, so Borough have really got to take some points off them. Yeah. And Borough will want to take points off them because they're in danger of dropping out the playoffs themselves. They're not that far off 6th place.
Yeah, exactly.
And 7th place. So, hopefully Borough can turn up and do a job. Every now and again, Borough do turn up and do a job, and really hope this is one of them. Because if Norwich managed to lose to Borough and Sheffield United managed to drop some points against Bristol City, and we beat Millwall, we're right back in it.
Of course, Millwall at home against Norwich, so if they can do a job there. Sheffield United against Bristol City, those are easy games for them too, and there could be a few twists and turns this weekend.
They could. Bristol City at the moment aren't on good form though, are they? They're just
but
entering one of their streaks again.
Yeah, but they are a tough team to beat though.
I don't know, we've beaten them fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
Even though it was only 1-0, it was fairly comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't watching the game because the stream was annoying me, but I was following it on Twitter, and it didn't seem like we were ever in any danger.
It will be interesting, the Middlesbrough Norwich game. That is on the Saturday evening. It'll be on TV, so
perfect. We can watch that in the pub, hopefully with a smile on our face.
Hopefully with a smile on our face that we've just beaten Millwall, and hopefully Middlesbrough can do us a favour.
Is it 5:30 kick-off that game?
5:30 kick-off on Saturday evening. So that'll be interesting.
We can hang about in the Dragon and watch that then.
Yeah, because Norwich are scoring goals for fun.
Oh, is it Saturday evening?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh, I can't hang about. I'm working at 7.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Norwich, they're scoring goals for fun this season, but Middlesbrough, they don't let goals in easily. So that'll be interesting. But we've got Birmingham and Preston after this. We will, of course, go into more depth about it in next week's podcast. But, I mean, these 3 games coming up, Millwall, Birmingham and Preston, they aren't easy, are they?
It needs to be 9 points. It just does.
It needs to be 9 points, but it's going to be hard.
It's going to be really hard, but it needs to be 9 points. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And we have to hope that someone else screws up. Hopefully Sheffield United. I'd rather Sheffield United screw up at this point than Norwich, because Norwich are going to win the league anyway.
I think Norwich are going to win the league.
So it's irrelevant to me whether or not they screw up, because they're going to win the league by like 3 points rather than 5 or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Whereas if Sheffield United massively screw up, then we overtake them, and it's all home sailing.
Yeah.
If any team could bottle it now, I'd want it to be Sheffield United. I really would.
Oh, I think it is just a battle between. I think Norwich are up. They've been best team in the Championship by a mile all season for me.
I wouldn't say by a mile. They've been more consistent than we have.
They've been best team in the Championship this season, definitely.
When we've been on song, I reckon we've been at least as good as they've been.
Yeah, I mean we've both been.
The problem is they've been more consistently. They've had whenever they've been playing poorly, Pookie just scores a couple and they're all right.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it, recently, their game against Swansea, they worked good, but then just a strike from out of nowhere was the one that sealed the 3 points for him. Not going to win league. It's battle between us and Sheffield United for the 2 games, for top 2 places. But not an easy couple of fixtures coming up, but hopefully we can get the job done against Millwall. The lineups then, lineup for Millwall, who would you put in?
It'll be the same, except Peacock Farrell will be in, and hopefully Janssen will be in. But if
Janssen's not in,
then Halm for me.
Halm.
And then the rest of the team will be the same.
Yeah, I reckon Berardi will go in for
I don't want to see Barry Douglas get subbed on anymore either. That's a pointless substitution.
Yeah, it's kind of come to my breaking point now where at the start of the season we were seeing of the same substitutions. Was like, why is he making that? I think Barry Douglas now, I don't need to see him come on.
He's almost not the same player as he was at the start of the season either, because in like Sheffield United and against like Stoke and that at the start of the season, he was properly decent. He was a good player. Now he's just...
I mean, what, only 4 assists this season, no goals?
I mean, I don't expect goals from fullbacks.
But assists, though.
You'd like some more assists, yeah, given how good he was last season. But
yeah, he hasn't had many. Score prediction for this Saturday?
2-1 Leeds.
2-1. I mean, it could be a game like last season where there's plenty of goals.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a really terrible 1-0 win for Leeds. I'll take 8 terrible 1-0 wins.
Yeah. Just the 3 points. I'll go 3-1 to Leeds.
I just want the 3 points so badly.
Yeah, I'll go 3-1 to Leeds United. But that brings us to the end of episode 14 of the All Things Leeds podcast.
Episode 14.
Then 14. It's going fast.
Been doing this a while, haven't we?
But thank you to Charles as always for joining me.
Cheers,
in the
mate.
Studio. Really do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has listened as well. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, then why not subscribe to the or follow the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts if you can. Share the podcast around as well. Help us out. Make sure to follow All Things Leeds across our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Keep up to date with everything that is happening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well if you have not already. Me and Charles, we will be back next week to look ahead to 2 games. One of the games that we are going to, we're going to Preston away, which should be all right.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're talking about a Leeds win against Millwall. But thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you later.